It is Wednesday, Tuesday, April 4th, 2023. They all start to run together after a while. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Our best bets always in the premium area, but we're here live giving out free picks every single day. Chris, college basketball season is officially over. Now, next is the NBA draft as far as college basketball goes. Who's staying, who's going. Then the transfer portal will be wide open as well. And with image licensing deals, probably more guys staying than ever before, or at least since for quite some time at this point, since Moses Malone broke through. But yeah, just kind of, I thought the championship game was way crappy, and I think a lot of times they are. It was just one of those, and we move on, from it. And I want to thank everyone that was part of our college basketball season. Of course, everyone out there that's watched all of our shows and all of our videos. Chris, Rod, as well, joined me on the show all season long. I don't know how many thousands of games we covered. All of our other cappers from the website, and of course our writing team, David, Shane, Chris, Randy, Andrew Jett, and Corey, who all were part of it for us this college basketball season. Once again, always appreciated those guys. They don't really get the credit and recognition they deserve, but trust me on this one, they deserve it. And really everyone else that's been part of it. So another successful year. Remember, I used to have a site back in the day called College Basketball Place, my second website I ever had. And I had College Football Place, and then I had College Basketball Place, the second. And then, they all joined them all together, and they became Sports Chat Place. That's where it all started back in the day. Old school. But, yeah, I thought, that, UConn had the best team this year. They beat us. And second year in a row, we lost to the team that won it all in the NCAA tournament. We lost them one step further along the path this season. So maybe next year we go one more step further. Great season by a lot of teams out there. And I think, there's an argument for an expanded tournament. There's an argument against it. And I think I'm in the camp of for it. I think that there needs to be I think that you still have your field of, maybe 60. And then you play in for 4 spots, maybe a little bit expanded play in over a couple of days, maybe, kind of, the UABs and the Wisconsins and some of these other teams that don't get a chance to play against the big guys, that maybe would have had a shot. But I think next year we'll have
something a little bigger than just the first 4 in type thing.
Yeah, well, the first 4, it's kind of ridiculous that the first 4 contains 4 teams that earned their way there already. Those teams should be automatically in. Yeah. Those teams should be in, and even if they're 16 seeds, they deserve to be in. They earned their way into the tournament, not into the play-in. They earned their way into the tournament, and by the rules that are set by the tournament, by the same way that everybody else got in. And then you should have the play-ins for some of these other spots.
Exactly, I agree. Because some of them are so tight, and there some people did get left out. That'd be probably
that would have been better than Purdue or some of these other crap teams.
Oh yeah, right.
I mean, there's some real crap. I mean, let's not forget about just the mess that the Big Ten was. What a disaster. One team in the Sweet 16, and they got bounced there.
Yeah.
How many they have? 8 or 9?
They had 8 or 9, something like that.
Yeah.
8, I think. Is it 8? 1, 2.
No Big 12 team in the Final Four this year. after hearing about that they were the best conference all season. You know how it is.
You were saying the SEC as well.
Yeah, the SEC too.
Truly.
And Arkansas made it to the Elite Eight. Got crushed. No, by Sweet 16 they made it.
Sweet 16, yeah, I got crushed.
Crushed. Chris Ruffalo, did you do your home run prop video yet?
Yeah, I am. I was working on it right now. I was actually missed recording it before we started the show, so I'll have it up immediately after following the show.
All right. Gonna work on that thumbnail for Chris. His artistic ability is lacking. Everyone's good at something. It's like my nephews. Like I thought they'd be really good at it because like when they were kids, they used to like to make movies and stuff. So I thought they'd be like really good on the creative side, like making thumbnails and stuff. And I mean, they just stink at it. Terrible.
Yeah, my fiance is the artistic one in the in the relationship.
Well, maybe she could make the thumbnail. Maybe something a little flashier than your drab blue baseball logo. Maybe something that represents a home run, since you're talking about home runs. Throwing it out there.
Gonna get a steak run dinner, make steak dinner on the plate. And be like, look, isn't this a home run?
Yes, exactly. Home run. A lot of big upsets in baseball yesterday. But anyways, we got a giant card today, so we might as well get rolling with it. Might as well. Start with hockey. Never thought you'd hear me say that, did you?
No, I was not expecting hockey first. Like, what? We want hockey first?
Well, kind of when on the days where he said, "Let's just get it out of the way."
Yeah.
Did a new thumbnail for our morning show. I think I can fix it. And I also did one for Jay's afternoon show. Changed it.
Cool.
I like it. Well, I think ours needs a little work, but I just wanted to have something. We used to always have one, and we didn't have it anymore. Well, let's skip hockey. I was just kidding.
Okay.
No, that's all right. I was like, we can't skip hockey. It's the second most popular sport in Ottawa. He like got his stats confused. He thought it was the world. It was actually Western Ottawa. Got the Panthers against the Sabres. Maple Leafs versus the Blue Jackets. I think the Maple Leafs blow something more than Jackets. They blew. Got the Canadians versus the Red Wings and Carolina Hurricanes versus the Ottawa Senators. It's all you, Ruffalo. It's the Ruffalo Show. Rod and I are just here to be part of it.
Well, I'm gonna go with the over in that Columbus Toronto game. I'm also gonna lean towards Columbus plus the puck and a half. I think this could be a backup goalie situation for the Maple Leafs. The Leafs can find some offense themselves. They didn't against Detroit, I can tell you that much. And Columbus, they're terrible on the road, but we saw Columbus upset Toronto earlier this season. And like I said, with the backup goaltender and potentially for the Leafs here, could see a 1-goal game, but I think we're also going to see a ton of scoring in this one. So like the over 6.5 and lean towards Columbus plus the puck and a half.
Right.
And for me in these ones, I'm going to go with the Detroit Red Wings here over Montreal. Detroit's playing a little better hockey, 3-1 in their last 4 games. While Montreal is losers of 3 straight. So give me the Detroit Red Wings to snag a win. I think Billy Husso should be back for Detroit in this one as well. And I think Montreal's going to run out Caden Primo again, trying to get him some work.
No.
See how he, yeah, exactly. Not Caden Primo.
How do you say that in French? How do you say that in French?
So yeah, he's
Leno.
Leno. You're right.
Just thinking of the most random word you can, like pamplemousse or something like that. Je m'appelle bibliothèque.
Leno. I like that one.
That our new
The thing
Montreal
is,
bit.
they perfectly well know English and could have just said no. But they got to say it in a way that we can't understand it. Leno. Oh boy. I'm going to take the Sabres on the puck line against the Panthers. I think the Panthers are getting too busy watching Sandy pitching. They're going to be late to the game, and I think the Sabres are going to take advantage of that. I think it's supposed to be about 7,000 degrees in South Florida for that one. Really not very good hockey weather, I would say. I wonder if these guys have to go outside ever in their full gear. I guess nothing fun about that.
No, but all these guys will wear suits. If you watch, they all arrive to the game and dressed up in suits, ties. All hockey players, it's rare you see them coming to the game in shorts and a t-shirt. Usually they're all dressed up, all got ties and suits. Very professional hockey players.
Professional.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of ball sweat to me. Anyways. Professional, yet sweaty on the nutsack. We're not checking. I mean, we're just making an assumption there. Yes, I heard that. Who's on the name a Sabre player for me?
Tage Thompson.
Tage Thompson really enjoyed his game at the Panthers. Had some good time at the skate around and toweled off some of that ball sweat afterwards.
Tage, what do you think the problem was? Why couldn't you put the puck on net? And sweaty balls couldn't.
Filled up the cup. It was just too drippy. It was not.
Couldn't do it.
It's like the announcer's like, got a few words to say about on this topic. Gold Bond medicated powder. I digress. Anyways, I like the Sabres on the puck line here. Sabres 25-11 on the puck line on the road this season. The Panthers just 15-22. So decided edge there. 30. I think that puts about a 30% edge on our favor there for the Sabres to cover that puck line. Less the ball sweat. Anyways, move on. Got the Devils and the Penguins. The Blues versus the Flyers. Do they show weather in hockey? Like when you look at it, like they do in baseball? I doubt it. Flyers versus Devils. Blues versus Flyers. Predators versus Vegas. And the Flames versus the Blackhawks. Rod, go ahead. He's muted. But he's taking Calgary.
I'm going to take the Blackhawks here plus the goal and a half against the Flames here. I know in the video they paid me to take the Flames in the puck line, but I seen the betting tools and I didn't know that. That's a crazy number. I ain't going to get off that train.
That's ineptitude perfected.
Yeah, right.
It's like Ruffalo. It's like Ruffalo, and it's sitting in front of the TV with a TV stand and a plate of food. It's like ineptitude perfected.
Yeah. That's exactly
Where did I come into this?
It's like, you got a TV one of those little tables. He's got the little rack that they go on.
He's got the rack with 4 in it, or you get like 4 or 8. Anybody else need a table? I got a couple. But take the Blackhawks plus the goal and a half here. Calgary has failed to cover that puck line following a win in 18 straight games. Yikes. Be the Blackhawks plus the puck and a half in that one. Nice plus money there, too. I hope the Blackhawks can beat them outright. Be even better.
saw it yesterday. I said this yesterday on the show, and I'm going to say it again today. I'm just going to repeat myself. Because history repeats itself. And for Vegas, this is when they play their best hockey. This is, you don't even have to follow the NHL to know this. That since this franchise started, this is when they play their best hockey. The hotter it frickin' gets in Vegas, if it's like 6,000 degrees, this is when they play their best hockey, because what they do is they lock the locker room for the other team. And I know this game's in Nashville, so they're not going to have that advantage here. They just hide the key to the locker room and make them sit outside, in their suit or in their uniforms, whatever the case may be. They're not wearing shorts and a T-shirt. We've already established that. And it's a dry heat. So, Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, man. You can call it a dry heat all you want. It's hot. It's freaking hot, man. It is just a baking. Oh, yeah, you think it's just a dry heat? How about try going out and rollerblading in it, man? Nothing fun about it. Taking Vegas against the worst name in sports, the Predators. Chris?
I'm going to go for the plus money with the Pittsburgh Penguins here. I know in New Jersey playing for a division title, but Pittsburgh fighting for their playoff lives at this point. And, the Devils just a far better road team than they are at home this season. Same thing can be said for Pittsburgh. They're better at home than they are on the road, but we're getting plus 135 with them here. I think the Penguins can find a way to get the job done in this one. So give me the Penguins and the plus money.
Penguins and the plus money. All right. We move on. The Canucks versus the Kraken. The Sharks versus the Avalanche. And the Kings versus Edmonton. These teams seem to be playing a lot recently, right? It just seems like it. I don't even follow this stuff. I know that. Enough is enough.
Oh, don't worry, they can be playing more.
I'm taking the Kraken here on the road. 24-10, 1-3 on the road. Yeah, taking the Kraken. They're road specialists. They're a mild favorite here against the Canucks.
Yeah, and I'm going to take the under in the Kings and Oilers game. Two high-scoring offenses. Normally think it goes towards the over, but it just played a couple days ago. Finished 2-0 in favor of Edmonton. Both teams fighting for playoff positioning. This is probably going to be your first round matchup in the Pacific, and trying to get home ice for this series. So I think I see another tight game here. First to 3 wins. The goaltending's been great on both sides. I like the under 6.5 there.
Rod?
And I'll think the leaves me with the Colorado Avalanche over the Sharks, who only have 8 wins at home this season. Colorado rolling right along, winners of 8 of the last 10 games. Not getting in front of that, and they're battling. I think if they win this one, they take over first in the Central. So the Colorado Avs on the puck line as they beat up on the Sharks.
All right, so recapping what we did in NHL, I took the Sabres on the puck line was my first pick. My second pick was Vegas against Nashville. My third pick was the Kraken. And if I had another pick of a game that I didn't get to choose, I would have taken Rod's pick as well. I love fading me some Calgary Flames. I would have taken that one as well. Getting almost plus 140 or something on your money to get the goal and a half with a team that hasn't covered 18 puck lines in a row or something following a win. Chris, what were your picks again? You want to recap for everybody?
Yeah, I like for my first pick. I like the Columbus Blue Jackets plus the puck and a half. And I like the over in that game as well. It's like my second pick was the Pittsburgh Penguins on the money line plus 135, and I like the Oilers and the Kings under 6.5 as my third pick. If I were to go back and give out another one, probably go with you with the Sabres plus the puck and a half, Mitch. I like the Sabres in that spot. I think all the pressure is on the Panthers in that one, and Sabres played their best hockey on the road this season, so I think that's where the value is.
Rod?
And for me, I took the Detroit Red Wings over Montreal. I took the Blackhawks plus the puck and a half against the Flames. And I took the Avs on the puck line over the Sharks, who just play awful at home. And if I had to go back and take one, I would take the Columbus Blue Jackets plus the puck and a half. We know what the Leafs do on the puck line. 14-25 at home to that puck line. No, we'll take the Columbus Blue Jackets plus the puck and a half there.
Okay, and the off-color joke where we walked the line was all about ball sweat, and that took about 2 to 3 minutes. Anyways, that concludes our NHL segment. I kind of like that little wrap-up at the end there, right? Kind of wraps up the segment. We move on. Let's do MLB next. Got the Diamondbacks against the Padres. Let me get this 20-minute mark. Diamondbacks versus the Padres. The Marlins versus the Twins. The Reds versus the Cubs. And the Yankees versus the Phillies. Chris, we're back to you.
All righty, then let's see here. I'm going to go with the Chicago Cubs, laying the minus 130 on the road. I really liked Hayden Wisniewski last year. Pitched really well against the Cubs against the Reds in a small sample size against him last year. And I don't know, I just think that the Cubs get a little bit of revenge here after the Reds stormed back and took game one yesterday. So give me the Chicago Cubs on the bounce back behind a strong start from Wisniewski.
And for me, these I'll take the red hot Yankees who have been rolling right along. Nothing like fading the Phillies, who are off to a nice 0-4 start. I don't like Strahan on the mound for the Phillies in this one either. Facing a tough Yankees lineup. Yeah, I think they get housed again. Phillies have lost their first 4 straight games. And actually, if you go back to last season, they've lost 7 straight games. So I think the Yankees whoop them again.
I'm going to take Zach Gallen here against the Padres. The Padres really, were advertised as like these world beaters in the West, with the Dodgers kind of taking a step back this season, which we haven't really seen yet. And with, the Giants being so bad last year and, the Diamondbacks not being seen as much of a threat. But the Padres really haven't filled out that role, at least not through the first few games. They struggled against the Rockies, and, they're up here against Zach Gallen, who's one of my guys, right? Career sub-3 ERA guy. Is one of those guys that if he was on the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Cubs or something like that, he would be, minus 300 every single time out. Going with Zach Gallen here in Petco Park against Udavish, who we never know what you're going to get. He's a Forrest Gump pitcher. It's like a box of chocolates. It's like a box of chocolates. Just gets poked all the time by a bunch of people, and then after all the good ones were already taken. Yeah. It's amazing we can just twist everything here. Got the National. It's a gift, Chris. And at the Nationals against the Rays. We got the Red Sox and the Pirates, the Brewers and the Mets. I'm a fixer. This is what I do. I take any situation and I make the best of it.
The many gifts you have, you're a fixer and you don't bloat.
I'm a fixer. I can't help it.
You're a fixer and you don't bloat.
I see couples arguing at like if I'm out of the restaurant or something. I walk over, I have a seat, and I say, I know you guys are arguing about money. Let's open up the finances, take a look under the hood, and see where we can make some adjustments.
And get the chicken parm and split it between the two together. Remember what brought you to this point.
And where did we go? So in this segment, it is the Nationals and the Rays, the Red Sox and the Pirates, the Brewers and the Mets, and the Royals and the Blue Jays. Rod?
Well, for me in this time slot, I'm going to go with the over here with the Pirates and the Red Sox. Definitely, if it's not broke, don't fix it. 4-0 to the over of these Red Sox, and definitely giving up runs in bunches all over the place. And I think Nick Pivetta can give up a few himself in that one. And Contreras for the Pirates definitely can give up some runs as well. So the over 9, I think we get to double digits again in that one. Give me the over. Pirates. Boston.
I'm going to go with the Blue Jays here against the Royals. Son of a Bubich on the mound here for the Royals. He did have a good spring, but I don't think that's good enough. I think Kikuchi's the guy with the biggest upside here for the Blue Jays in that pitching staff. Obviously, we saw Barrios last night, and he still sucks. And then, we know that Kevin Gausman's a piece of garbage. So I think Kikuchi might be the guy that, kind of slips through the cracks and is, him. And, I thought that Bassett was very disappointing in his effort. So I think Bassett, is better pitcher than what we saw, but I think Kikuchi has the biggest upside here for the Jays. I'm going to take the Jays in this one. I would even consider laying the run line. I also like them first 5. I was thinking maybe yes, run first inning while I'm there. Since I'm betting anyway.
I'm going to leave it with the Tampa Bay Rays here to close out this part. I like the Tampa Bay Rays a lot. The Washington Nationals going to be one of the worst teams in baseball this season, and they didn't waste any time getting to that. They've just been dreadful out of the gate, and the Tampa Bay Rays it's just a clear mismatch here. Tampa, they've had an easy start to the season, I would say, and I just don't think it changes here. I don't like this matchup for the Nationals at all. Josh Fleming, bright spot in the Rays rotation last year. The Rays had a lot of bright spots in their rotation, and I think Fleming carries that over here, starts the season with a strong performance, so give me the Rays in this one.
Rod, did you go?
I did, yep.
All right. That was fun. Got the Cardinals and the Braves, the Rangers and the Orioles, the Astros against the Tigers, and the A's against the Mariners. Is that correct? Oh, wait, we'll just do 3 then. Got the Braves and the Cardinals, the Rangers and the Orioles, and the Astros and the Tigers. So the White Sox aren't playing today? What's going on? All right.
Yeah, there was one pair of teams that weren't playing.
White Sox and the Giants. Giants are tired.
I think it rained out, no?
The Giants are tired from running around the bases.
They're gassed.
They're gassed, man. That 4 home runs in 1 inning. That was just a lot. It was a lot to handle. Too early in the season to hit back-to-back home runs. Kopech. I'll tell you what, Kopech is mad.
I think they thought after like the 3rd one they were going to pull him. He was like, "Oh, I think they're going to pull me. This is awful start." And then he's like, "Oh my god!" He looked at the bull, but he looked at the bench like, "Aren't you coming to get me? Come on, aren't you coming to take me out? I got to throw again. Oh no!"
He just threw it as hard as he could, and it was smack.
And he did, and he was just like, "Argh!" And it was just like, "Well, that didn't work." Oh, there we go. How about now? Are you going to take me out now?
I just thought Ruiz's stat line was not as good as it gets in that one.
That was just the icing on the cake at the end. I was like, "Oh no!"
It's funny
like, "Oh
because
no, this game was like a foregone conclusion."
I sent
like,
Rod
no.
and Romanelli the same message before the game, and that was that Ruiz was available for work because he had to pitch the day before. Comes in, what was it, 1/3 of an inning?
Stuck him in the 9th.
Oh my god!
I think just to give him some work. I think they did just give him some work, and he got worked all right.
Oh, he got crushed. I sent a text to my friend Ruben in Chicago that I used to watch the White Sox with, and I said, this was before the game. I said, "I don't know if you're going to the game." I said, "I don't know if you're going to the game, but if you can, walk by the bullpen and yell at Ruiz and Lopez and tell them that they stink. Say it in Spanish so it's more effective." Anyways. Yeah, they suck. Oh, man. So where were we? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cardinals, Braves, Rangers, Orioles, and Astros, Tigers. It's me, right?
Yep.
All right. I'll take the Braves against the Cardinals. Dylan Dodd, 2.0 ERA in the spring for the Braves. Doesn't have all the tools and everything, but he's good enough, especially when you're up against Steven Matz. Yeah. Looks like a live ball this year. That's always bad news for Matz. Chris?
I think for me here, I'm going to go with the Baltimore Orioles, the plus money against the Texas Rangers. For me, if you're looking for a home run prop game, I think this could be one of the better ones of the day. I mean, Andrew Heaney still dealing with a stiff neck from having to turn around and watch the ball leave the park the last 4 seasons, maybe even longer. And Baltimore, I just feel like they're the better team right now. I think it was Kyle Bradish at one point for the Orioles. Now I'm seeing TBD, but I'd rather have TBD than Andrew Heaney at this point, especially if I'm having to lay juice with Heaney. So give me the Baltimore Orioles in this one.
Down with TBD.
Yeah, you know me.
Rod. It's an oldie, but
This one
we haven't got to use that one. We haven't got to use that one in a while.
in a while, right? I haven't had you down with TBD in a while. You down with TBD? And this last one here, well, I'm going to take the Astros on the run line here. Matt Manning is 0-4 in his last 4 starts with Detroit, and I don't see that changing here. I know Detroit got the win yesterday. I think the Astros get the bounce back here with Framber Valdez on the mound. Speaking of sweat, he's already sweating, and he hasn't got up there yet. So last time he faced
lathered up.
Last time, lathered up. He's ready. He's like, "Are you using that ball sweat? Here, I'll help you."
That was the last segment, Rod. We got to come up with a new one.
Oh, sorry. New segment. Are you using that sweaty hat? Here, let me use your sweaty hat. Here you go. Framber Valdez just dominates Detroit. They'll be lucky to get a run today. Maybe get 1 or 2 at the most. Astros get 7 or 8. Blowout here.
Rod doesn't even let the bit get to the shelf. He's already recycling it. Haven't even put it in the pantry yet.
Okay. So he's like, so ball sweat's off the table. What about hat sweat?
Hat sweat. That looks boring.
Could have said butt sweat at least.
Yeah, that was where I was going. It's kind of like match game. Chris is Charles Nelson Riley. How about butts crack sweat?
I was gonna say, just as long as no one comes up and kisses me like Richard Dawson. It's like
Rod's Brett. Let me tell you something.
Was Sherman Hamilton on it at one point or something?
I'm looking at butt sweat, Gene. Blank sweat. Looking at butt sweat, Gene. Butt crack. Butt crack also acceptable.
That's awesome. I didn't even think about Brett.
It's getting rough out here.
Wouldn't trade it for anything.
All right. A's against the Guardians, Mariners against the Angels, and Dodgers against the Rockies. 3 good games. Chris? I like butt crack sweat, Gene.
I'm gonna go with the Mariners in the first 5 here. I like Luis Castillo a lot. I don't trust this Angels team. If you can't win games with Shohei Ohtani against the Oakland A's, I have a hard time seeing you do it. Against the Seattle Mariners. I know the Angels have been the better team at this point. They're 3-1, while the Mariners are 1-4. But I've still got that Angels and A's game stuck in my craw a little bit, and I just think Castillo arguably going to be the ace of this Mariners staff this season. So give me Seattle in the first 5 in this one.
Right.
And for me, these ones I like the Cleveland Guardians here against Oakland. Well, I know took a comeback win yesterday for the Guardians. That won't happen here today, but Shane Bieber going on the mound. He had a great first start, and I think it falls a great first start with shutting down Oakland. I think he goes 6 or 7 and shuts down Oakland's bats. And the Guardians get a nice big lead for him and get a nice run line cover in that one.
That leaves me with, which one did you take, Chris?
Mariners, Angels. So these are the Dodgers, Rockies.
These dudes took Mets money line. I don't think anyone took Mets money line. Did you? Who took Mets money line?
I didn't.
I didn't.
We didn't touch that game.
We didn't touch that game.
We didn't touch
What are you talking about? Christian Romaniello is making shit up. Let's go to the YouTube comments. They're making shit up.
No.
You took the Mariners, Chris? Castillo?
I took the Mariners first 5.
All right. I'll take the Rockies against the Dodgers. The Rockies actually aren't playing all that bad. They're swinging the bats. And, I think they got a shot here. Herman Marquez. I'm pretty sure that I took the other side on that Mets Brewers. Scherzer's pitching, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw him. The Mets got bombed yesterday. You see that rookie hit the grand slam? His mother was crying. Stop sobbing. Knock it off. There's no crying at the Brewers game. Hit the grand slam, his first home run as a major leaguer. Scherzer's a guy that gets, he gets tagged, man. He's at that point in his career. He's going to get busted up. Anyways, recapping it, I took the Rockies. I took the Atlanta Braves, Dylan Dodd and the Atlanta Braves. I took Kikuchi versus the Royals and took the Blue Jays with them. Then in my opening segment, I took the Arizona Diamondbacks behind Zach Gallen. If I had another choice to make on the board, I would probably take the Orioles against the Rangers because I think the Rangers, there's no value there whatsoever. Chris, you want to recap, please? You want to recap what you said?
Sure. For my place, first one I went with was the Chicago Cubs on the money line on the road, minus 130. Also went with the Tampa Bay Rays over the Washington Nationals. And I also went with the Baltimore Orioles in the plus money. And I took the Seattle Mariners in the first 5. I could go back and give out another one. I'd probably go with the Houston Astros as well. I know Matt Manning has been a guy that kind of looked to back in spots for the Tigers, but the Houston Astros don't stay down for very long, and Framber Valdez is probably going to be the staff ace this season. I think he shuts down the Tigers here as well, and Houston gets a big bounce back.
Rod?
And for me, I took the Yankees over the Phillies. And the over, Pittsburgh, Boston. Lots of runs there. And I took the the Guardians over Oakland. And I took Houston over Detroit. And if I had to add one, I'd jump over to mention the Braves here and Dylan Dodd. He definitely looked good in the spring, and I think he's definitely bright up and comer for the Braves. I don't like Steve Matz. Afraid Steve Matz. I'm not laying that kind of any money with Steve Matz.
Screw him.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know where does he get off? Set of stones on that kid. The balls on that guy. He giggles a little. All right. The set of stones. We go to the NBA. Nice card tonight on the hardwood. A lot of teams with a lot to play for, which has made it a little bit interesting. So all my criticism of the play-in coming back in my face once again. Got the Hornets against the Raptors, Pistons against the Heat, Magic versus Cavaliers, and the Wizards versus the Bucks. I think it's you, Chris.
Oh, it's Rod.
It's Rod.
No, me. Then I'm going to go with the Toronto Raptors here over to Charlotte. I know they just whooped Charlotte, and they're back at it again. Then Toronto didn't have to go anywhere. Probably enjoyed a nice steak dinner in Charlotte after that whooping. I think they're ready to whoop them again. The Charlotte team's been awful, and the Raptors have been playing the better hoops, 7-3, 7-2-1 against that number. Raptors are getting healthy again too, so watch out. I think Raptors easily cover that number there.
Yes, if we disagree with Ron, we're wrong. That's what everyone said to me yesterday on my Giants pick against the White Sox. Ron's a great handicapper, but he's not right 100% of the time, that's for sure. I'm going to go with the Pistons against the Heat. The Heat are probably win the game and don't cover. Pretty much been their MO all season long. That's why they are where they are. They are who we thought they were, taking the Miami Heat. I mean, the Pistons to cover, the Heat to win.
I guess I'll take the Milwaukee Bucks laying the points against the Washington Wizards. The Wizards, looks like no Porzingis, no Beal, no Kuzma. Going to be very hard for them to keep themselves in this game. The Bucks pretty much look like they're at full strength outside of Chris Middleton, and the Bucks still trying to lock up the number one spot as well. And I think they do it in convincing fashion on the road. I think they're still trying to get the bad taste out of their mouths from that 41-point home loss to Boston. So give me the Milwaukee Bucks in this one, laying the points.
Nets against the Timberwolves. We got the Sixers and the Celtics and the Bulls and the Hawks. I'm going to roll with the Brooklyn Nets against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves just straight ass. This is the time of year where the Timberwolves really fall flat on their face and show just their true colors. I'm going to take the Brooklyn Nets. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the the Chicago Bulls here. I just don't trust the Atlanta Hawks on the road. The Hawks are still trying to hold on to that spot in the 7-8 playoff matchup, but Chicago Bulls still trying to clinch. Clinch in the play-in tournament. Maybe trying to leapfrog Toronto for that at least that home court edge in that 9-10 matchup. Maybe even get above Atlanta here. So I think the Chicago Bulls get it done here. I think Trae Young's still questionable for this game. Probably plays, but I think the Bulls just the better team get the job done at home here. So give me the Chicago Bulls.
And for me, I'll take the Boston Celtics, who are trying to chase down the Bucks for the lead in the East. 2 games back, I believe, of the Bucks for that division, for the Eastern Conference lead. And they've dominated the 76ers this season. All 3 meetings they've won handily. So I'm going to take the Boston Celtics. I'm going to lay the 2 points. Give me the Celtics on the money line. I think be outright 76ers in that one. Give me balls, Steve.
Got the Rockets and the Chicken Nuggets, the Grizzlies and the Blazers, and the Pelicans and the Kings. Chris, it's you.
All right, then I'm going to roll with the New Orleans Pelicans here. Liked it a lot better when it was at 3, but I'll still roll with it at 4. The Kings, they're still pretty much locked into a top 3 spot. The only thing they can do here is really catch the Memphis Grizzlies, build some momentum going into the postseason. But the New Orleans Pelicans have just been on fire. 7-1 in their last 8 games, both straight up and against the spread. Playing like they want to get into the playoffs and not stepping in front of them right now. I know the Kings are a solid team, getting them in an underdog role is tempting, but got to roll with the New Orleans Pelicans here.
Right.
And for me in these ones, I'm going to take the under between the Denver Nuggets and the Houston Rockets. Lean to the Nuggets as well, but I like the under as the better play there. 230.5 points. That's just too many points. You look at the Nuggets, 9-0 to the under in their last 9 games. And this Houston Rockets team, I don't know if they're able to score enough. They're also 6-1 their last 7 on Tuesday to that under. Then there's also 5-2 in the Rockets' last 7 at home. So I think the under 230.5 in that one.
Who'd you take, Chris?
I took the New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh, Pelicans.
Who'd you take, Rod? I thought you just did the same game. Right? I'm confused.
No, I took the Denver. I took the under, and then Denver and the Rockets.
Oh. So that leaves me the Blazers and the Grizzlies. I'll take the Grizzlies in this one against the Blazers. The Blazers are sad. They're just terrible this season. And the Grizzlies pretty much can wrap up the number 2 spot in the West. They've stayed clear. You know, the Grizzlies stayed clear of that pack, that mess, that mess in the West. But they pretty much can wrap up their season with a win here. Look for them to do what they do, which is slaughter teams at home, 34-6 straight up. We move on. Lakers and the Jazz, all that jazz, hands. We've got the Warriors and the Thunder buddies, and the Suns and the Spurs. Rod.
And for me, this one here, I'm going to go with the Jazz plus the points there against the Lakers. Look at the Jazz. They haven't been winning. They're 3-7 in the last 10, but they've definitely been covering 7-3 ATS in the last 10 games and 9 points. Lakers don't win by 9. Lakers win by 4 or 5 points if they don't get outrighted. So give me the Jazz plus the points there. Play good hoops. I think they keep it close here with the Lakers.
Lakers tied with the Clippers and the Warriors as far as in the loss column in the Western Conference. Loser of that 3-way battle will go to the play-in, while the winners will go to the playoffs. Basically a playoff game for the Lakers right here. I like the Spurs against the Suns. I think the Suns are a good team, but they're more defense-focused. We just haven't seen them gel with Durant in that lineup for them. It just seems that Durant plays his best basketball in the last 5 minutes of the game, and I don't think that's enough time for them to cover 12.5 points and then some. I'm going to take the Spurs and the big number. Chris, what game would you like to talk about?
So I need to choose from here. I'm going to go with the over between the Thunder and the Warriors. These two teams, whenever they lock up, they score points in bunches. There's a lot of made shots, not a lot of defense. The last 2 meetings between these teams went over the total by a combined 45 points. We've got another high-scoring game here. So give me the over 242.5 between the Thunder and the Warriors.
All right. Recap it for everyone. Chris, what'd you take?
All right. Well, for me in these ones, I took the Milwaukee Bucks, laying the big number against the Washington Wizards. I took the Chicago Bulls, laying the points at home against the Atlanta Hawks. Took the New Orleans Pelicans, laying the points at home against the Sacramento Kings, and the over between the Thunder and the Warriors. And if I could go back and pick out a game, I'd probably take the Detroit Pistons as well. You know, like Mitch said, I think a game that the Heat win, but the Pistons cover. The Heat have been a good cover team at the best of times.
Did I say Spurs money line? I sure as hell did not say Spurs money line.
No,
I said Spurs plus. I said Spurs plus the 12.5 and then some. Right? Isn't that what I said? That's pretty much what I said.
Comment said Spurs money line.
Yeah, he's an idiot. So before I block this guy and throw him out of our thing, just to make sure that I didn't misspeak, because I'm pretty sure I even laid it out in terms of 12.5 and then some. Right? Isn't that what I said? They don't cover the 12.5 and then some. I mean, that was my exact words that I said, which makes this guy, Zane Flores, a dickhead. Anyways, Rod, go ahead.
For my recap in these ones, I took the Raptors. I laid the 14.5 there. I took the Boston Celtics on the money line over the 76ers. I took the under between the Denver Nuggets and the Houston Rockets. And I took the Jazz plus the points over the Lakers. And if I had wanted to go back to talk about, I agree with Chris here. Take the over OKC and Golden State. Both those teams don't play a whole lot of defense. I got track meet in our hand. I think we easily get into the 250s in that one. I agree. Take the over.
All right. I took the Pistons plus the points against the Heat. I think the Heat win. The Pistons cover. I took the Nets against the Timberwolves. It's just a pure fade of the Timberwolves. I took the Grizzlies against the Blazers, and I took the Spurs plus the points, 12.5 plus against the Phoenix Suns. If I had another pick to give out on the show, and I do because that's just a gift that that I've been given. I've been blessed to do just that. I would take the Lakers against the Jazz. Way too much to play for, and then a playoff game, which this really is for LeBron James. That's not for the championship. You gotta like his chances.
I do. I like the Lakers to win, but I think the Jazz get the cover there.
I didn't say about your pick. It had nothing to do with that. It was my pick. You had your segment. That's why there's lines in between the screens here. Don't make me go to where we each get our own screen when we're talking, because I can do that.
Sorry.
I can do
Don't
it.
push me when I'm close to the edge.
I think tomorrow just for that we're gonna do that. If I knew it, we were all taken ahead of time. I'd put some nice graphics together on this stuff too. Maybe I will anyway. I'll just put graphics together like with the segments and the spreads and stuff. All right. That leads us to the time that I've been waiting for, and that's parlay time. Chris, make it special for everybody, please.
All right, I'll do my best. I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm going to go with the Baltimore Orioles and the Houston Astros on the run line.
Then we're going to go big sport. We're going to go the Boston Celtics on the money line. We're going to go the Yankees on the money line. And we're going to go the Cleveland Guardians on the money line. Parlay those three up.
I'm going with Columbus Blue Jackets on the puck line. I'm going to take the what was I looking at? The Milwaukee Brewers, and I'll take the Atlanta Braves. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I got a real busy morning, so I might not be able to make it, but I will try. Gotta go see my surgeon. Make it a winning.